Hello there, and welcome back to Freeform Disney. I'm Jeremy.
Natalia.
And here we are to watch another episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Heck, we're already halfway through, so up to episode 4 now. Let's see. Hello there to Evie. Hello there to Nerd Boy Carter.
Hello,
Hello there to Darscal. So, got a few people in and around already.
Yes.
Oh,
we're all eager because the episodes just keep getting better and better.
Yeah. and I'm wanting to know what cliffhanger we get hit with this time, because the cliffhangers have gotten bigger and better each time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dang.
Yep.
I mean, hey.
Zemo was a big one, but we already knew Zemo was in here.
Well, I mean, if Ao's the last one, how do you trump Ao for the next one? I mean, if you bring Ross in, that could do it.
Which would make sense with this tie-in, to what's been going on in the serum and stuff. So,
hello there, Geek Girl, and hello there, YouTuber. Let's see. We definitely have a good few of you around.
Yes.
Hey, so for anybody who is new, let me go ahead and give the usual spiel. Everybody who's been here again and again, you've heard this a few times.
You'll memorize it by now.
One more time for you. So, when we go ahead and watch the new episode, make sure you've got it up on your side, pull up your Disney Plus, etc. And then we'll be watching it, and up above our heads up here, there will be a timer. That timer will go ahead and match what time we're at, so that way you can use that to help sync your watch to our watch.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And we'll start watching it, around when it comes out.
Yes.
Since we gave that warning a couple weeks ago, being that they've been dropping them early.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Gone are the days where we had trouble logging in.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, not that mess. Oy. That was a mess when those were the days right there.
Yeah.
I don't miss it. Yeah, exactly, Darscal. We expect it to be a bit early.
Yes.
I mean,
we'll start it early.
We're multiple weeks early at this point, so yes. I'm going to guess it won't be the last. I'm still curious to see, because we did have some comment earlier on. Anthony Mackie, I think it was, who made a comment about the show being considerably longer than the 5 hours we expected it to be. But so far, the episode lengths have been like 45, 45, and 50, which is really in line with being a 5-hour show. So, yeah. I'm unsure of what to expect here. So the one episode's going to be double, or the few episodes will be longer than what's been, or something? Hard to say. To say. Let's see. Let's go catch any of those comments. Anything else in there? Let's see. The Zemo, dance hour. Yep. Yes. We put a link to it up in the Discord, too. I mean, I love that they released it. Love the dancing. Oh, yeah. As I said, and it's not the full 20 minutes that Daniel Burrell talked about, but hey, it is still like a 28-second loop, something like that right in there, which is considerably more than we got during last episode. Yeah, like the 6 seconds or whatever that it was short. When they posted up the episode. Yep. But I mean, that's so cool, and it's so cool that Marvel actually, whoever went ahead and did the work of putting that together and actually getting it out. Yes. So they're going to be giving it out in little installments, right? 30 seconds each until they get to the 20 minutes. Right. Each day we'll put out a new half-minute loop to that thing. It's the Zemo dance hour. We're just going to get all the views. Eventually you can have a 24-hour, Zemo watch by linking all the hours together, and they'll be different. Dun, dun, dun. And it is addicting, too, with the music the sound. And that was a good pick, and they looped it well, especially using the lens flares and whatnot else to go ahead and connect it together. So it doesn't feel as badly looped as it is, even though it's less than a half minute. So no, they did a good job with that. Oh, and I guess I should say, when I say 45, 45, and 50 on the links of the episodes, I'm talking about without all that localization. Like, it looks like 50, 50, 54 if you're actually looking at Disney Plus, but yeah. And then minus the credits too. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, not including all those localization credits. Oh, those are localization credits. The normal end credits would count probably in whatever time they estimated, but not all the localization pieces that are on at the end, which is translating to every one of the different languages for Disney Plus, which is why the credits even look different at that point. 21 Days of Zemo. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yes, exactly, Darscal. That was our big piece at the end of last episode.
Completely
right there.
unexpected. And love how she just, like, owns the scene with just a sentence.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just like AO owned that scene back over in Civil War with
Yeah,
a
with
sentence,
just a
too,
sentence.
right?
Like, oof. You can feel the power behind that statement, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not everyone can go ahead and just make a comment like that to Black Widow and seem to, right off the bat, seem to have the upper hand in the power exchange. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And I wonder why she made her appearance, like, known instead of just striking against Zemo. Like, what is the point of letting them know of her presence?
Because they want to talk to you first and be like, short leash here. We'll let you go and do this, but this is a really short leash.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, Wakanda's not exactly in the shadows anymore.
No.
What they do does have repercussions
That's true.
in a far larger way. You're kidding, it's out already?
Already?
Dang. 9 minutes still, and we are ready.
Yes!
The whole world is watching. We actually have an episode name again this time.
Ooh.
And same length as last week, 54 minutes long. Oh, and by the way, everybody, go click that like button. Smash that like button.
Yes, that'd be very helpful.
Oh, yes, it does help the channel. It very much does.
Helps give us visibility and chatting. That's
Indeed. Prediction time, you say, Evie. What will the prediction time be about? So we're going to get the episode up and ready on our side. So everybody else, go ahead and get the episode up and ready on your side. We'll give you a little bit to go ahead and make sure you get that episode up. Let us know if you're having any troubles. We had none at all right here, so it's up and ready.
We have it up and paused.
Interesting on The Whole World is Watching as the title, right?
I know. It's like,
There's
what's
a
that
few
reference
ways to
to?
go.
I kind of feel it has something to do with Captain America.
I feel it's got a bit to do there. I feel like very much has something to do with the Flag Smashers, too. Like, the Flag Smashers very much are on the
like
side
that
of wanting the
rebellion.
world to be watching, right?
I wonder if this is the fall of that this Captain America starts. Kind of like
It
the
could
world
be.
is watching.
Oh, it
as
certainly could
that
be.
symbol crumbles.
Yeah. Evie predicts that Batman is the power broker and Mephisto is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, there we go. Let's connect
Yes.
all the universes together. The multiverse is coming.
Just not in the way we all expected. We all expected it to be just Marvel, but nope.
Right.
It include all the things.
Okay, so here's the last warning sent in here. If you don't have it up yet, now is the time. Go ahead and put something in that chat right now saying you're having problems. So otherwise, in a moment, we are going to assume everybody is good and we're going to get going.
Yep.
And so the reminder once more is that we'll have a timer up above our heads. We'll count down in. So that way everybody can be watching at the same time and then we'll be going.
Yep.
Okay, yes, whole world is watching.
Okay.
Well, the whole world is about to be watching, right?
Okay, so ready? 3, 2, 1, start.
Here we go. A little previously on.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like she doesn't have a point, but at the same time, of course, we also must comment on crossing the lines a little, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a comment I made. Whether she's a terrorist or not is the question on whether those were military personnel in there.
Yeah, because terrorism
Right?
is against
If you argue it was a
civilians.
military target, you could argue against terrorism. Not that the world would ever, argue it that way. Certainly the U.S. wouldn't. And that's another matter entirely.
Yeah, whether it's right or wrong, we were talking about versus
And
terrorism.
regardless, obviously, you'd already taken all the people out, so the fact that you then kill them when they're helpless is
Yeah.
another matter entirely. And certainly murder. Oh, it's also an interesting question. There's been some talk about whether COVID had affected the plot within here and whether there was a pandemic going on and whatnot. It's an interesting question within all of this.
Yeah, because of all the vaccines, and especially the Flag Smashers were dealing a lot with the vaccine shipment and boxes and moving them and stuff.
Yeah, so it's an interesting question, that. YouTuber, I've never accidentally worn a green shirt while having it behind me. No. And funny enough, it's actually messier than that. It will catch things that are not green.
Yeah,
that I think should
blue.
be okay. Also, if there's
weird.
enough fluctuation in the colors quickly, that will also set it off a little too. And so some of those have caught me at first, but then I catch it before I go live by looking at it on the camera and going, oh wow, that doesn't work. Gotta switch that shirt quick.
Yep. If you're doing YouTube videos,
cool,
definitely do testing before live.
Yeah. This is cool right off the bat, jumping in here. 6 years ago.
Oh, interesting.
We're pre-snap. White Wolf. It's like you saw Wakanda back there. Well, here's the other reason she went and talked to Bucky specifically.
Because they have a connection.
The other half, you need to make sure that he's not actually under Zemo's control, right? Mm-hmm. Just to be sure you weren't wrong. Especially after the cameras made it look like he was under Zemo's control. Nice scene. But yeah, that makes sense, though. Again, you got to make sure he's not under Zemo's control, right? Nice bit of acting for Sebastian Stan there.
Oh, yeah, I can feel it.
Not that he would have gone ahead and let him free anyway, though. Mm-hmm. But he's not about to go throw Sam under the bus.
8 hours.
Yeah. It's interesting how she uses his name as White Wolf, too, right? Nice opening.
Yeah. Well, is he gonna tell Sam about this, or is he gonna keep it to himself?
Well, I don't think he'll tell Zemo
No,
about
well, no.
Well, the thing is, Bucky's not exactly against them taking him back out. Mm-hmm. Trying to see what was on the phone there. Mm-hmm. The fire and whatnot. That's the explosion. There it is.
Only 3 dead. Wow.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's the stained glass has red, white, blue. Ah.
Zemo really does know how to walk that line.
Very much so.
Considering how huge that fire was, I'm impressed that not more people got hurt. Killed.
Well, if there weren't that many people in there at the moment.
Yeah.
Reset, restore, rebuild. By the way, see, it's why we're bad at theories, right? Considering that he goes right in and says it all anyway.
Yep. Yep.
Wee. Yee. Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly no one wants to talk with you there, because they're sympathetic at the very least. And even then, it's just a call, so they would go do something here. It doesn't fix the larger problem anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have dancing Zemo. Now we got singing Zemo. Back to how smart Zemo is.
Yes.
Who's most likely to talk to you? Yeah, the kids are more likely to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Getting what you couldn't figure out how to get.
Yep.
Now he has a bargaining chip.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice catch.
and he fixes it.
That's great. I mean, considering how you helped loose that right there. The things she has access to, right?
Was that Oh, trying to figure out the necklace that she had on.
Oh.
Looked like a circle with the line in the middle.
I was not paying enough attention there.
Oh.
Nice.
Neat.
Cool dead drop. Is it a dead drop or just a safe storage? Either way. Ah,
Safe
storage. Love that we're in Latvia, though, right?
Technically.
You think we could actually make a Doctor Doom reference within this?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. More dissent between the two and ideas.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to watch this whole connection. And with what he said before, she's not going to go talk to the other two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, back to the other cleverness of what you used. And you're in full garb and whatnot. It's like not exactly trying to go low profile, are you?
Yep. Yeah, Geek Girl Junk definitely continues to be hot-headed.
Yeah, he does. So we've alluded to it, and we keep seeing it again and again.
$10
It's like, it doesn't just work. You don't just say 10 minutes and it all works. It's like,
Yeah. 10 minutes you can convince someone with strong ideals. Just like that.
do it in half the time. Yeah. Crap. I love directing that last bit of message up to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those you talk about. You know, he talks about being able to talk her down. At the same time, she has a case to make to him.
Oh, yeah.
Not that he'll ever agree with the violence and that was and the murder that was in there, but yeah. Aside from that. For the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. What do you think about that? Kicked out of their houses, their homes.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The other people are back now.
Are there. Yeah.
Jeez. It's exactly what he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta trust your partner.
Yep. Without knowing anything about her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Zemo will get free. Mm-hmm.
Congrats, you let Zemo free.
Yep.
Would have liked to have seen that conversation keep going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Zemo again, huh?
Uh-huh.
Dang, man. You know, he did what you failed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where he gets the serum.
Yep, the one left.
I think he's not.
Although the serum's not supposed to change your personality like the other ones are.
Not supposed to doesn't mean it won't. You're him. There's no way you don't use it. It's that simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's in the background?
I don't know.
Of course. Speaking of fun things they gotta deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that serum ain't going back now.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it ever was.
Was it?
She was never gonna.
Well, of course not.
Back.
My point is the Power Broker can't get it back now. That was my point. Whee.
Yeah, I agree, Good Girl. John is already hot-headed. Nope, doesn't need much of a push.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's the second time we see him making a good point back in response to Zemo in this episode. No kidding.
Time's up for that.
You expected something there?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is wrong with you? Sorry. Dang. Considering you're representing the U.S., you kind of understand that. You do the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should know proper etiquette not to randomly touch people.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sitting back drinking.
Yeah, it's not like running is going to do him any good anyway.
No, not against them. Cheering, there we go.
You want things that, again, encourage him to take the the serum, no?
This is definitely going to push him to take the vial, too.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Been beaten by them.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's gotten chaotic enough he can actually go. But again, you still don't run.
No.
You move slowly because then no one pays attention to you as much.
Yeah, she's purposely hitting the arm there.
Well, I would think that, they'd have a way of deactivating your arm. Just saying. Is there tech? Could have taken it right there from... Mm-hmm. It's not like it's not made of vibranium anyway. Yes, but they're far better trained than you are for that.
Oh, yeah. Far better trained. But, of course, that's not what he's going to look at. He's already had issues with his self-esteem. Big shoes to fill. Not feeling like he's getting anywhere.
He had his escape route ready.
Oh, YouTuber. Yes, definitely enjoying the episode.
As always, to be sure.
Oh, it's fun seeing them fight.
Yeah.
And oh, so devastating for him.
He's not hot-headed the way you are, though. Of course, you don't know that he has it. If he
even
knew
if he
it,
did,
would he say it?
I don't know. He might believe it, too.
It's like he knows he shouldn't take it.
Yeah.
It's like you can tell he knows he shouldn't cross that line, that he can't trust himself on that.
Yeah.
But he's going to.
I love how we took that moment to just have him question that in that conversation.
Yo.
Wow. Calling it Sam's sister.
Uh-huh. Ah, thanks, YouTuber. Back to the line she's willing to cross, right?
Yeah.
Again, whatever did you get to the end.
Yeah. And you don't know if it's a bluff or not.
Right. Well, the interesting thing is she and Zemo see much more eye to eye there. Very much ends up justifying the means. Oh, yes, exactly, Geek Girl. And that's kind of what we've said for a while about the serum enhancing who you already are already. So it can enhance the best parts or the worst parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
In suit.
Mm-hmm.
But again, separating them from the other two, right? Should be able to figure out what that meant. Who would she be targeting then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, her point was to distract them and pull them away from these two.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Too bad. I'd love to see a bit more conversation, though.
Yeah.
It feels so weird to see the gun right up over top of the shield.
I know, right?
It's... Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So he hasn't taken the serum yet. How long?
No.
Till he gets pushed to that point.
Oh, I don't think he took the serum yet.
I don't think so.
Through that shield
He wouldn't be as
but again, it's made of vibranium,
anxious at this point, I would think.
Yeah.
Unless it's not until it takes effect yet.
Exactly, Gig Girl. Yeah. She's done talking indeed.
Yep. Oh, yep. He took it. Never mind.
Yeah, well, again, you saw how hard he threw the shield. It's like, again, granting it was vibranium, but... Of course, that's also something they didn't expect either on the Flag Smasher side.
Is Lamar going to survive this?
Don't know.
Because if he doesn't, that might also be another thing that pushes him off the edge.
True, I mean, he is kind of his stabilizing force right there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice hood over top and all right there. Actually, is interesting, all the knives instead of guns.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was cool. Yeah, now she's there too. Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. Remember the name of the episode. The whole world is watching, or the world is watching. As he's in a public space.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
The blood on the shield.
Yeah. 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 Hell of a final note on that one, huh?
Yeah. Wow. And the way they shot that whole thing. It's like...
Yeah.
I'm still just like, wow.
Yeah. No, they've done a great job with the show, too. It's like... May I say, that brought far more people to your cause than killing him ever would have.
Yep.
Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the symbolism in the last shot there with the blood on his shield. I don't remember if we ever seen, like, blood on the shield before, no matter how many battles Captain America had. But
don't think we have.
That was beautiful.
The music here and what they've done with the end credits and the quietness of it, too, is a nice touch.
Oh, yeah.
I always appreciate shows that can change what they do with them. It's like...
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, you ask famous revolutionaries and whatnot, it's not killing somebody, even the people that are willing to do it. It's getting those people to go ahead and take an unforgivable action.
Yep.
And then have it get seen. That will rally people to your cause.
And a lot of people definitely recording that one.
Yeah. Still, just, wow. Speaking of the endings topping the previous endings, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, topped the previous endings.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one of those, even when you're seeing it coming, it's like,
and
the way they carried it out and executed it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So now.
Wow.
Now what?
Let's see. Darskal, U.S. agent, is born. Yeah, to that degree. I mean, once he loses his title of Cap, eventually, anyway.
Yeah.
What was this rated? I mean, we don't tend to see blood like that, but of course, it was just blood on the shield. It's not like we saw the person's mangled body that way. I mean, so that's how you'd keep the rating where you want it to be.
Yeah, there's an allowance for like a certain number, like 1 or 2 or something like that.
And again, it's also streaming, so you can get away with more things too.
Yeah, versus a movie.
Well, it's kind of the comment also that the Marvel shows and Star Wars shows don't really play by the same rules on Disney Plus that everything else does. Like, if it was not Marvel, this would be, as far as anywhere outside the U.S., you know, we're in the U.S., so. But outside of the U.S., it would be where Disney would shove it underneath the Star tab, you know, with their whole parental controls or whatever else. Or over to Hulu inside the U.S. But because it's Marvel and Star Wars, they can actually push that boundary as to where Disney would otherwise feel comfortable with, shall we say.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
oh, my goodness.
I'm surprised they killed Battlestar so fast, too, even though once you saw it and you knew it was going there.
Yeah, I was kind of like...
Because that was the piece to push him over the edge.
Yep. Especially with their conversation back, talking about taking the serum and stuff. Just it's like, kind of feel that.
Now, here's the thing. You want to talk your differences. Cap, even if, you know, Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Even if Bucky was killed, he would not have snapped it like that.
Yep. Heck, Bucky was killed, quote unquote, you know, when finally thought he was died. Killed
in a different way, though, when you have somebody drop off a train versus seeing it in front of your eyes like
Yeah.
that. But
It never went that route.
But again, that's not how he'd react to it. Just most certainly isn't. Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Stephen Harlan. Should we say hello?
Yeah, hello there. Wow.
Yeah, they definitely upped the language in this episode too.
Me too, for that matter. Oh,
yeah.
Whoops. I do tend to try to avoid it as a general note. Just because I don't know who the heck might be watching, but
Yeah.
But yeah.
That, I agree. It was a great episode from start to finish. It just took you on that ride, and it was just, yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. It's interesting how we jumping subjects, but still on the show. Sharon Carter popped in for a little bit. We just kind of kept her around in the episode without doing much with her, just to keep her presence around while we were elsewhere. So, yeah, I thought that was an interesting touch, just to make sure we're all still thinking about her, knowing she's doing stuff.
Yep, kind of nice, that coordination of when she told him that they had found... I keep forgetting his name. Call him Captain America because I keep forgetting his name.
Oh, our new Captain America.
Yeah.
John.
John
Walker.
John Walker, yeah.
A very... I mean, Steve Rogers is fairly typically a European-American type of name, right? Well, not even European, but British-American, I guess I'd say. So is John Walker.
God, it's an impressive feat that Zemo was able to escape the Wakandan soldiers.
Yeah, well, he has to keep incredibly off the grid, though, to really stay away from them, though. I don't know that we'll see Zemo. Well, no, we will see Zemo again. He was in the trailer. We'll see him one more time.
Over the statue.
Yes.
Unless that was like a red herring.
Well, again, it was Bucky facing off with the gun, etc., right?
Maybe. I don't know. I have to see the trailer. It's been a while.
With the shells coming out, etc. It's like, nah, so I still think he'll be free, and who knows where the heck at the end of all this.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
I don't expect them to be able to catch him at the end of the series.
No, this is Zemo we're talking about. He still has plenty to go through, right?
Yeah. In fact, last time they kind of caught him because he half let himself be caught.
True.
He was about to end his life, so he didn't really try to escape Black Panther at that point. And by that point, it was kind of too late to make that escape at that moment.
Indeed. So yeah, I think we will see Zemo again, but beyond just a moment, I don't know that we'll see much of him. I don't think we need to necessarily.
Especially since we only have 2 more episodes, right?
Right. And at this point, the shift of the focus is going to, exactly the fallout we're going to see over here in terms of John Walker is going to be intriguing. Because, again, what he did was with everyone watching on camera.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder how the U.S. government's going to respond to that. Because on the one hand, yes, their symbol kind of went completely off the morals there, but it's still their chosen symbol, and especially if they find out that he took the serum, I'm wondering how that would play into them wanting to control as well.
They'll distance themselves from it. I mean, again, you have people in power like that, they are only too quickly willing to distance themselves. And
that makes sense.
The only way you wouldn't is if you thought you could spin it. The problem is that's pretty hard to spin.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be frank, the image of the blood on the bottom of the shield is front cover everywhere. You're not going to be able to push away on that one. It's too big.
And the way it was done wasn't really in self-defense, that kind of thing.
It was clearly not.
It was
pretty visible
not.
right there. So, No, I mean, at that point, they're going to go with distancing themselves. If they could bring him in and get the shield and whatnot back, they would do that. But beyond that, no.
Ooh.
Not only that, they're going to have to find ways to blame it off. And if they can blame the serum, that'll be part of what they'll blame. Because, hey, we never gave him the serum. Yada, yada, yada. So that clearly says that he was acting on his own accord. Wasn't representing us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You get the idea. Mm-hmm. And actually, well, hey, those Flag Smashers had the serum. You know, so, hey, the Flag Smashers probably forced the serum into him or something. You know what I mean? You're going to spin it however the best you can. Mm-hmm. But they're going to cut him loose. I can't imagine they wouldn't because of that. I just don't see you being able to spin it well. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Stephen Harlan is Elmer Fudd, hunting rabbits. Let's see. Oh, Evie, you thought the scene with Bucky and Wakanda would be your favorite scene, but you were wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful scene. Really well done. The atmosphere and everything on it, and again, the acting, too. But, sorry, that can't be down.
Top notch there.
Yeah, I mean...
But, ooh.
Yeah. Yes, Geek Girl, best episode so far. Yeah, I'd say again. Again, every episode has successively been better than the one before.
Yeah.
And every end note has been better than the one before. And they've been big end notes.
Oh, it makes me looking forward to the next 2 episodes.
Yes. So, okay, so what do you do as an end note that beats this end note? Oh, screw. Yikes. Dying. To beat that end note?
Oof.
Boy.
You like Falcon, but you love a Wanda Rabbit. Oh, you're hunting Mr. Scratch? Mr. Scratchy? Senor Scratchy.
Okay, so maybe your end note of episode 5 is Falcon taking up the shield, you think? I mean, that would top it, but I don't know that you'd do it that quick.
No.
It feels a little quick, but if we're going to get the piece of him actually practicing with the shield, he can't only take the shield up at the end of episode 6. No. I mean, you could have him publicly take it up at the end of episode 6. That would be a heck of a note, by the way, to end on.
That's true. And we've seen in the trailer where he has like the kind of like the Falcon suit, but kind of designed like Captain America style. I remember that.
Yeah.
Night, Geek Girl.
Oh, well, good night, Geek Girl. Have a magical
Thank you for joining
night,
us.
And may the Force be with you.
Yes.
Oh, hey, actually, before everyone does disappear, I guess we don't have a date yet, but we're working on the day.
Gravity Falls.
Right, we're going to start watching Gravity Falls soon, so just going to go ahead and put that out there for anybody that happens to be either interested in seeing it for the first time, like us, we haven't seen it, or has and wants to see it with us. So we're going to be starting that up soon.
Yeah, I heard really good things about it, but never really watched it.
Yeah. I said same over here. So... I said, we haven't got the exact date down as to when we're starting, but we will be doing that, and we'll be watching it together, too, for that matter. So just thought I would let you all know here, since you're here with us right now.
Yeah. Don't forget to click the like button.
Indeed. Agreed. Let's see. What else do we got? We got some other comments in here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Gig Girl, in the comment on Zemo working with the Sam and Bucky. I don't know that it'll happen this season, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen again in the future just because it was so much fun seeing them.
Oh, yeah.
So, as I said, certainly I could see it happen somewhere down the line in the future. Let's see. Like Falcon, but I love a Wanda Rabbit. Yeah. Oh, that was your comment on the Senior Scratchy, of course, earlier, yes.
Dr. Stephen Helens hunting Senior Scratchy.
Let's see. May have to disagree with your opinion about Zemo, but I think he's going to stay a bit longer because of the hunted women. I don't know.
True, they'll still hunt him.
I know we'll see him again.
Episodes left.
Yeah, it's like I know we'll see him again, but at the same time, I think that could be his major exit as far as anything big, with just one main appearance fulfilling the end piece we saw where he and Bucky really come face to face. Which, considering we saw the gun with the shells coming out, it could even be a case of Zemo choosing not to actually kill Bucky, which would be interesting.
That would be interesting, especially with the super sim. And we kind of foreshadowed that with Sam asking him, that what about Bucky, because he has some sort of serum in him, and would he be okay with killing Bucky? And there wasn't an answer. Zemo did not answer that, which was really interesting.
It was interesting. I mean, again, we saw Sam actually make a couple good points that Zemo listened to during the course of this episode here. And Zemo, back to part of why we like Zemo, and I think a lot of people like Zemo, he's not somebody who's not willing to listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said if you can convince him,
he even
you
said
once,
that's fair.
Yeah.
But did say, have you seen anyone, like Steve Rogers?
Exactly. And it's a good argument. So that's my feeling on where that's going to go from what little we saw in the trailer and just the feel from the bit of foreshadowing there. I think we're going to get to that spot somewhere here later.
I like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Dr. Stephen Harlan, tell you about that show. Well, we don't know a lot about it.
Gravity Falls, yeah.
But let's see. So it's an animated, 24, 22 minutes an episode kind of thing. I think it's 2 20-episode seasons. And, comedic. I said, I guess a mystery to some degree of what's going on and trying to figure out, where things might be headed and such. The location is supposed to be Gravity Falls, Oregon, for whatever I can say there. And, so there's like a supernatural element to the show because of that. And, yeah, can't say a lot more.
Drama, fantasy, coming of age type of story, mystery, thriller. Lots of little things in there.
Yeah. Let's see, Evie. Remember when you start Gravity Falls to look at the ciphers because they'll give you hints at the mystery. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there are ciphers to look at that will give hints at a mystery. Gravity Falls is not Marvel. No. It's not Marvel at all. Disney. It's, animated.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see. You like the sound, you'll be there. Cool. Well,
cool.
I'll have you there too.
Yes.
I said, we'll figure out what date it's going to be. Obviously, we'll put up, the video thing so everyone can go ahead and set the reminders for the start of it and all that. And
yep.
There'll be probably at least another live stream before then, I think. Yeah, we'll probably
the month one.
Well, next week's Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, yeah.
So there will be at least one more live stream first. Let's see, what else do we got? And Zemo's exit will be in the after credit scene when Ross will recruit him for the Thunderbolts. It certainly could be.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be a way to end it. Bring in Ross and
the button there, yes.
Yeah. And that kind of feels, especially since, because Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to be like the first series. Originally, before WandaVision. So that, seeing Ross recruit him into Thunderbolts would be a really good echo to the Tony Stark scene with Samuel Jackson.
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury, thank you. With Nick Fury, kind of like that Avengers initiative. So that'd be a really interesting echo.
Yeah, it would be a very interesting echo considering how different that is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Favorite part of the episode? I can't decide between two. The final beautiful sequence when he died, and just that complete fall from there up to the end with the bloody shield. But that, and also the scene where he's talking with him about, asking like, would you take the serum? And that kind of conversation where he's still weighing it, and just having that let's be real moment. You kind of feel their connection too, and their friendship, and also talking about what they had to do before during the war that they were in too, and kind of weighing that in and kind of like having the serum would have been, saved so many lives, and just that pondering.
I'm going to have to say the final note, that final scene going there, from the moment really with Battlestar getting killed through the end, it was, you had all the things to do to really hit that in all the right ways to make it hit as hard as it does and be as impactful as it was. And they hit every one of the notes right along the way. It was
really masterful.
It was like the right amount of foreshadowing beforehand and everything else setting it up. And then, again, man, the way that hit was well done.
Oh, yeah, and you didn't have the cliche of him saying anything else before he, died. No, it was the impact and saw the head low, and that was true, it.
To be sure.
There was no, extra little bit of that. It was just final.
Yeah, no, it was so well executed.
And then when he jumped out of the window with the shield and he landed on the car, that's reminding me of a scene. I think Steve Rogers did that with with the shield jumping out the window and then the landing on the car with the shield on top of the car. I feel like it was a similar sequence.
I think there are two different pieces, but like that. But yes,
it might be two different sequences, but yes, it really reminded me of that.
It should. It was meant to. Which is all the more beautiful in how they did it right there. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Now, my second favorite scene would have been, Sam and... It's Carly, right? It's Carly?
Yeah, Carly.
Yeah, man, I screw up my names sometimes. But anyway, Sam and Carly talking back earlier.
And they're having that would have been my
second favorite.
That was really beautiful. I wish there were more time for that conversation.
Me too.
Walker.
If there were a little more time in there, that might have given a little more run for the money for favorite scene. But still would have been tough. But no, that conversation, really getting to see it testing both of those characters and how it was playing off of each other, loved that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
really nicely made.
And, of course, I could talk about more scenes in there, too, because there are more good scenes. But those were my two favorites, to be sure. To be sure. And... the opening scene would be in my top 5, I'm sure of that.
That was really nice.
Yeah, that's top 5. Probably one of our pieces where we really had, Sam and Zemo and Bucky all talking. That, the scene where we actually did end up bringing up Steve within, that whole conversation right there would probably be one of the top 5 too for me. As I said, there was a lot of verbal sparring going on, and also, again, just seeing the three and how they impact each other and whatnot. So
definitely seeing the dynamics at play, too.
Yeah. And the fight sequence in the room would be a tempting choice for me for a top 5, but it might not make it. I don't know. Because that fight scene was good, and there was so much else that was emotionally within it, too.
Oh, yeah, especially for Walker and that.
Yes, and it was beautifully done for that.
And the final, and they weren't even super soldiers. Yet I failed. The say last part, but there was that, and I still failed.
Right, it's not
supposed to be Captain America. I'm supposed to be able to overcome that, just like Steve Rogers used to always do.
And it's not even just failed.
Wiped. Wiped to the floor.
Yeah. You weren't even any kind of adversary worthy of anything, essentially. No. It's like, yeah. Yeah, anyway.
And we talked about the beginning between him and Ayo.
Ayo, yeah.
It also kind of helped also put the emotion as to when they're fighting, that half betrayal, Like, I gave you time. I said I was going to be here, and yet you're still fighting me on this. Kind of like betrayal is like after what Zemo did to their previous king.
Yes, no, that interaction between Io and Bucky was also really good in that fight. That's why, again, that fight itself has definitely a chance with it to hit my top 5 for scenes. Because, those two pieces were good. The piece specifically with John Walker and how everything that happened there was really good. Actually, I'll also note Zemo in there, too. Mm-hmm. It was yet another good example of Zemo being the calm, controlled person that he is, who clearly had already figured out a way out and had to wait for his opportunity, see if it would come, then slowly walk out while everyone's distracted, make sure he's not moving too fast so he doesn't catch anybody's eye, and out he goes.
Yep. Yep. He's really good at timing. Figuring out when to move, when to stay, when to say what to say.
And he's patient.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You say the big fight at the end was better than the endgame final fight. Well, I don't think I'd go that far, but...
There's also that culmination of so long that got packed into that.
Yes. So no, I would not say it's better than the endgame final fight.
Yeah.
Was it a really good fight? Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And there was a ton of deep emotion within this and how it plays into everything else. But no, it's not better than the endgame final fight.
Although if you take that fight in and of itself without the rest of the bunches of movies of Marvel that came before it, would it compare better? With just that fight stemming from the episode.
The problem is you can't do that. I mean, let's be honest, you can't take this fight even out of the previous episodes that came before. Yeah. I mean, if you want to do that and say, okay, well then sure, let's do this fight, but let's only include the second half of the episode and ignore everything that happened before that. Well, then that doesn't have as much weight either. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've been watching Walker as he's been getting closer and closer to here, and that's been a major element. So, again, you can't, because it directly builds on all that.
Yep.
I mean, we could try to evaluate it in and of itself, and let's be honest, we'd be lying a little bit when we say we're trying to do that.
It's hard to separate the characters and what we know from them with the actual scene itself. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, one thing to note on a difference if we're talking Endgame's fight versus this is this was one fight, much more focused, had a very direct, small storyline it was dealing with. Endgame's final fight has a whole myriad of storylines because we have these characters coming back and finally getting to see you, and oh look, I'm getting to see you, and our interaction to here, and Tony finally seeing Peter again, etc. I mean, all the little moment. All the pieces that we have within there are so many pieces. It is an insanely huge fight with so many characters in it and so many storylines crossing. I mean, you could talk about that, or maybe when you say the final fight, maybe you're going back and I said, where do you even start it? Because it's such a big fight that technically this fight starts with your trio back when you have the three of them. So when we have Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor all fighting against Thanos, that's where it starts. Right?
Yeah.
Do we get to count the fight as starting there? Because Sam comes in and everybody starts popping right there as Cap's with the broken shield. So, or do we only say the fight starts once we say assemble? And maybe that's where we count the fight as starting. Or maybe when you say final fight, you really just mean the very last pieces where we have, say Captain Marvel and then Tony going ahead and both fighting that last bit of fight against Thanos. So
very
again,
it's
utterly gigantic, and it's hard to compare it to a really focused in fight. But yeah. So what I say, no, I'd say that fight, is better. But
that is true. We still don't really know who the main villain of the show is. Is there a main villain?
I don't think this show wants there to be a main villain, and I think that's a right move. This show is dealing in shades of gray, and I think that's more the point, which the Captain America movies have been more willing to at least move that direction, shall we say. As I said, not as much, shall we say, early on. Let's say the very first Captain America movie, not as much.
No, Red Skull was Red Skull.
Right. When you want to say Winter Soldier did have a bit more gray area. It pulled its punches a little bit, though. Because remember, S.H.I.E.L.D. was going to launch the bloody helicarriers in the first place and go target and kill people before they did anything. Seriously, that was the plan. Nick Fury was fine with that plan. Steve wasn't. Yes, sure, Hydra ended up being our villain when we fought them. But S.H.I.E.L.D. / the U.S. government, however you want to look at that, were hardly good guys here. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a gray area that we started talking about even in Avengers with some of the weapons and what they were doing and what Fury was up to. So, but they did pull their punches by being able to let it be Hydra as much as it was. But there were gray areas there. Civil War got even more gray. Who were the good guys in Civil War and who were the main villains here? You really want to say Zemo was the main villain? Yeah, he was, but that wasn't really the point. I mean, I think that misses the point. Mm-hmm. Again, shades of gray, right? I mean, which side do you take on Iron Man versus Cap there, right? Mm-hmm. Which side's right?
And I hope they don't do that with Walker. Like, make him the really big villain, that people have to come together to kind of defeat or whatever. I feel that would cheapen it a little.
I think he's going to become more villainous after this because, again, once
he's going to be isolated from
exactly
for the action.
He lost his best friend. He's isolated. He's seen by the world having done what he did. He's going to get cut loose by the U.S. government. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, this kind of
if you do all that,
to go type of thing,
right?
And he still wants to revenge for what happened to his friend too. So even if he's not trying to stop the flag smashers, there's still that revenge motive that I think is going to feel.
And we have so many different competing forces within here. It's another half of why we don't have a single solitary villain really to say that is the main villain. Heck, we've got another force in here that we haven't really touched on too much, which is the Power Broker, which the Power Broker is coming in to some degree more. We've kept hinting toward it and pushing toward it. The latest message that the Power Broker sent clearly says they're about to go and enter soon. So that's yet another force that you have sitting within here.
Within the multiple forces that are going on.
So, no, I don't think we're going to have, hey, you are the main villain. That's not the feel I get for this, and I don't think it would be right for what this show is doing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yep.
And the villain of the show is Mephisto. Yes, it is. Exactly. 100%. It is Mephisto. Mephisto is Power Broker. You heard it here first. Mephisto is Power Broker.
Yeah, one that did walk for sure a line too. With everything that she did. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And let's be frank, too. Since we're talking about WandaVision, the same kind of question we have there, who's the main villain? Who's the big villain really going to be? It's not exactly a straightforward one there now either.
Mm-hmm. No, it was Agatha all along.
Right, sure. Yeah,
but it's so funny with that song. Either way, it wasn't like she created the bubbles. It wasn't like she was putting everyone through daily torture, with those oppressive feelings. She didn't lock them up.
Yeah, exactly. His girlfriend's going to probably leave him after she sees the video.
Ooh, yeah. Not surprising.
Well, again, you talk about the government going ahead and distancing itself from him. There's a lot of other people that are going to distance themselves from him really quick. I mean, that fallout will come fast and it'll come hard. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Yeah. Zemo's a bit like acting director Harkin. He only became really evil in the final scene where he tries to shoot children. And that felt like it was a thrown in, we better make it clear he's bad. Zemo? Do you mean Zemo? Or are you meaning Walker here? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm saying Zemo's like him, though, having only become evil in the final scene. Yeah, I'm not sure, because Zemo, I feel we're referencing back to Civil War, but we made Zemo a villain much earlier on, considering he went ahead and bombed the UN, etc., etc. Heck, even before he bombed the UN, anyway. We saw... Well, actually, we didn't see that he'd killed someone before. We saw that later, but point being... And we never think of him as a huge bad villain for killing the Hydra agent, but technically he did that even sooner, too. So I'm not sure what you mean there. Let's see. She was the one messing with the possibly perfect world of Wanda's... She...
I think it's
talking back to Agatha.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe you meant Agatha is a bit like acting director Harkin, only becoming really evil in the final scene.
Yeah.
I think,
she killed Sparky too.
Right, and we all had our suspicions on that earlier on. Anyway, I think I said it around that time. It's really that Agatha had to keep things more secretive underneath.
And poking, prodding, and here and see what happens. It kind of really felt like an experiment, especially since, looking to see how that happened.
Oh, yeah. The acting director. Yeah. Hayward. Yes, indeed. Yeah, shot at Wanda's kids. Yep.
Yeah. Without really much hesitation, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It might not have come across as much that way if we had dug more into his character. Mm-hmm. If we had dug more into why he was willing to take an action like that and why that hit as much.
Yeah, because it was kind of like, what would shooting the kids really do? You know what I mean? He had reasons behind the things that he was doing.
Right. I mean, for instance, we view Hayward far more a little more two-dimensionally, more villainous than we do Zemo. I think just inherently in how we look at it. And part of that is because Zemo's motivation, his backstory more. And of course you see how level-headed he is and everything else.
Yeah.
But you don't know Hayward to that degree. And he was an ass to our other characters, et cetera, right?
Yeah, that doesn't help. Zemo's able to really walk that line where backhanded compliments and throwing jabs at you, but not really as hard.
Well, and again, that's part of... I mean, if you want to make a truly good villain, you make villains that you could potentially identify with, or they might have convincing arguments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not that Zemo doesn't. He sure as hell does.
Yeah.
Now,
it's like we're kind of past
we can also talk about
Saturday
how he crosses
morning cartoon
the line,
thing.
Right. And, I mean, anybody that you talk about being the best villains, and Marvel's long had a villain problem, frankly, and making villains that are far too dimensional. But we've got a few of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Loki's a good villain, but that doesn't mean that we necessarily identify with him in terms of his plans. Like, that's an interesting difference. But in terms of other people like Thanos, who you can see what his point is, or whether we talk about Killmonger and seeing his point, or, as said, or like we were just talking about there too, Zemo, how you can see his point, or heck, our head of the Flag Smashers, you can certainly see her point as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see, would you say Hydra is even really around anymore? Oh,
I don't feel as an organization type of thing.
Yeah, but I also don't know what to say to that. You go ahead first, but
I don't know. I would think if pieces of that are around, I don't really think it'd be Hydra per se. Like, it'd be maybe something different. Like, SHIELD isn't really around anymore. It's SWORD. Kind of like maybe things do still transfer, but it's not what it used to be, type of thing.
Right.
A lot of it was really weeded out during that time.
Yeah, I mean, Hydra's a bit of an ideology too, so it can come back to life even if it's fully killed. It could come back to life even if it's not truly that Hydra. But then again, the Hydra we knew wasn't, back in Winter Soldier, wasn't the original Hydra either.
No, it wasn't. It was different.
So I guess if we're talking if it's really the original Hydra, no, that's long gone. If we're talking Hydra as the ideological group that can change over time, yeah, that can come back even if they're all wiped out. Mm-hmm. Now, whether they all got wiped out, I don't know. It also
that's a good question.
Because we took out the last major one back in Age of Ultron that was commented as far as the movies are concerned. At one point in time, I would have said did more of taking them out because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then again, Agents of
Yeah,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
it's not
isn't actually part of the MCU,
part of the
even though
MCU.
originally it supposedly was going to be.
Ugh, so sad that it wasn't.
So I can't take any of that as bearing on what's actually going on in the MCU necessarily. So sure, there could certainly be Hydra still left. As far as the MCU is concerned, we don't have that kind of confirmation.
Yep.
Hydra's changed to Mydra. And they'll use blue soap. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? As I said, certainly could see Hydra come back, but at the same time, I'm perfectly fine with Hydra as a whole.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things that we can bring back.
There are. And we don't need to keep bringing them back, especially. It just starts to lose a bit of its power if we keep doing it over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So. Okay. Dang good episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so next week will be the last regular week for doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Because that'll be the 5th episode, and then we're going to do a marathon before the 6th episode, and marathon everything beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll talk more on that next week, because I'll put the schedule up for everybody next week as to what time we're starting in 2 weeks. And all that. Next week will be the same normal time because it's just normal episode. But it's the week after that we're going to have a whole marathon beforehand.
Yes.
And
that's going to be fun.
Yeah. And then the week after that, we'll get to do the assembled thing for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then as far as the MCU is concerned, we're going to have a month and a half off, really. Yeah, a month and a half.
That's so weird. It's like, it's kind of expected to be like, Continuum, but
I think it was going to be.
Yeah, and then
earlier,
what happened.
But Black Widow got delayed, and for some reason Loki got delayed. I don't know why Loki did. But Loki was originally coming out in May, because it was said specifically by Feige as May, without a specific date, but still the month of May, which would have put it so that they could have continuously gone. Then, you have the week off for the assembled thing for this. Then you have Black Widow come out. Then the assembled for Black Widow. Then you go straight into Loki. That was my prediction. I even put out a whole schedule as to how I thought it would work. But clearly things got backed up and changed for some reason. Obviously the movies are obvious, but as to why Loki got delayed, I don't know. Anywho, point being is, we'll have like a month and a half off on the MCU. That's going to feel weird.
No kidding.
We'll get to take a little time off right there and then come back with a vengeance that will probably take us through the rest of the year at that point. I'm guessing we're not going to have any other real breaks after that. And possibly even sometimes where there'll be more than one MCU show coming out. Or an MCU show and a movie.
Don't say that. That would be messy.
Well, they can't get it all to come out otherwise. Unless they delay a show into next year. But it already looked like...
It can be a different day instead of Friday.
They could, which wouldn't be bad. But it already looked like Spider-Man 4 would go... Spider-Man 4. Talking about the future here, folks. Anyway, but it already looked like the third Spider-Man movie would already go at the same time that Hawkeye would be going. Just because I didn't see a good way around it. But, who knows? Either they take the week off and keep going, which would be weird. But anyway, going to be interesting stuff. As I said, certainly we will keep going. We're going to have fun, taking some time off, and we're going to probably start getting ready to take off for the night, for that matter. Hey, if you haven't watched the hour-long Zemo theme from Marvel, go watch that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Also, over on Freeform Marvel tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. We'll see. Somewhere right in there. Might be the next day, considering it's late already. But I'm going to go ahead and put together some kind of...
dance off.
Yes,
Marvel dance off.
In the Marvel universe. Well, not necessarily the cinematic universe, but Marvel. Let's see. Couple last quick responses here. Let's see. You say, are we watching Black Widow together? We will see what we will see on that, because
is that coming on Disney Plus?
Yeah, but I think they're doing a simultaneous release into the movie theaters as well.
Interesting.
So we might, as I said, I'm sure we'll go ahead and watch it with everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it'll be our first watch, because our first watch might be in the theaters.
Don't know.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll play that one a little more by ear, of course. We're still talking over 2 months away, well over 2 months away. So, sorry, 2 months is Loki, but yeah, it's, 3 months away, 4 months away? It's August. Brain.
Time.
Right.
Slipping.
Whatever. You all can look up what it is, and yeah. But anyway, it's months away, so we'll figure it out as we get closer to it. We'll be live streaming Loki, and certainly we'll have our answer, more around that time frame to be sure. Okay. Thanks, YouTuber.
Thank you.
So we appreciate all of you coming and
Yes,
watching too, and
definitely
all of you participating in the chat as well, because it's so much fun talking with all of you and getting to interact. It really
there's only
is.
so much I can hear listening, talking to myself, so it's really nice to be able to interact with the chat too, rather than me having to come up with everything.
Yes.
Or listening to him.
And you. Yep, July 7th. There we go. Yep. Yeah, but and $30 if you want to watch it on the Disney Plus. Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about it more as we come. And again, Loki will start like a month before that, so we'll have plenty of time to talk about it before we get there. Okay, everybody.
Thank you, Dr.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and say the usual for everybody
here.
Thank
you, Dr. Steven.
Yes, thank you to everybody.
Yes.
And have a magical day. And may the Force be with you. Always.